Justin, you fought the game out pretty well. That was a good fourth quarter. You probably just let yourself with a bit too much work to do. How do you look back on it?
Second quarter frustration. We give up. I think at the half we'd given up 14 points and second chances, and gave them 7 offensive rebounds in that quarter. I think most of them they convert to a 3, and it's something we spoke about, that they needed the 3-point line and second chances to beat us, and they go and do it. And full credit to Tassie, how they play. They were pretty disruptive and whatnot, but I still look at it as we kind of beat ourselves. And if we just spoke about this playoff push we're trying to make is going to be a challenge, and that's the area that I think we've got to just keep getting better at is less self-harm in key areas. 18 points off turnovers again for them. Just to me that's the part that's the biggest frustration. Credit. I liked our second half. I thought the shots we missed in the third quarter, like to only score 14, but we got the shots that we wanted. We shared the ball. We found good opportunity for each other. And obviously the last quarter we found some things as well. But it's that second quarter that really, straight after the game here is the frustrating one for me.
How much do you take out of the way you finished pretty well? I mean, you got it within 6 a couple of times in the last few minutes, and you score one more basket there, and you never know, you might be able to just pinch it. I mean, do you take a lot out of the way you fought the game out?
Yeah, I believe, Casey hits that 3, and I'm like, all right, we're going to get this. There's no doubt in my mind of what this group can do. But to Tassie's credit, they found their advantages and kept going to the same action, and we had some key breakdowns at key moments, and that's what it's going to take to beat a team on their floor that's in the same hunt that we're in. So. I've got a lot of pride in this group and how we go about it. I'm asking a lot of guys, but as we get healthy, we get guys back in here. I'm excited about us being able to sustain the good parts of us. I think there's just some mental lapses right now, which I'm sure come in to guys having to play heavy minutes.
Tyrell ends up with a pretty good night still with 15 on 12, but with them missing Magnay, was there the potential there you could have perhaps gone inside to him a little bit more, or did they do a really good job of just denying you the chance to do that?
Well, one of our challenges lately is foul trouble. Key guys having to sit because fouls are called, and I look at the points in the paint, they beat us by 14. It's not a game where that should have happened, and we identified the advantage we had there. I think when Ty was on the floor, we did a good job to find the balance of running stuff for him and then finding him late. His 12 rebounds were excellent. 6 of them offensive. So to me, it's the same story always for us right now. While we're a little less in our rotation, is can we keep key guys on the floor? And tonight, Ty had to sit too long, I felt, at key moments. Just when we kind of probably needed him most to have the ascendancy.
Yeah, like you said, that's why you miss Rocco, isn't it? If he steps in for those 11 or 12 minutes, that potentially makes a difference.
Yeah, the guys that were in there battled hard. It's no question of the work that they were trying to do, but we were smaller. We did find some advantage playing that way as well, but we know when we've got everyone on deck, we can sustain the pressure and the level that we want to, and I felt these last 2 games we just kind of haven't done that.
What are your takeaways after that, Norton?
Yeah, I think, as a playing group, we've got to do a better job of learning on the fly. In-game situations, we obviously know Tassie are going to crash extremely hard on the O-glass, and they kind of did a number on us in the first half. And then, I think, most of those points that they were scoring were kind of as we expected, which is probably the disappointing part from a playing group. We get given a scout and it's a short turnaround and all that kind of stuff, but I think as a playing group we've got to do better in those situations.
I know it's 2 losses this weekend in the space of, 36 hours or around that, but it's also been against the 2 hottest teams in the league. Do you learn a lot out of these 2 games about how close you are, Norton, but also what you need to work on?
Yeah, obviously, you never want to lose a game, let alone two in a row, and one being on your home floor. So, yeah, I think, for us, it's a lot of learning can be done throughout the week, which is good. But at the same time, those are the teams we want to be playing at the end of the year. So, we need to learn a lot. And I think we have the ability to, apply those lessons and do what's right for each other as a team and teammates and the guy beside you. And I think once we start getting back to those things, having a number of guys in double figures and the ball moving and it not sticking, I think that's when we'll be back to our very best.
I want to get your thoughts on Casey. I know he didn't quite shoot the ball as well as he has been tonight, but in general he's been playing at such a high level. You've been his teammate for a long time. What have you made of the run of form that he's been in over the past 6 or 7 weeks?
Yeah, I think it's a credit to him as a person, as a teammate, as a player. The work that he's put in the off season to get his body right, and everyone keeps saying, "Oh, geez, he's moving well." Like, he's not injured anymore. It's Casey Prather now, and that's who we love. And I think he's slowly coming around to being a 4-man. I think he was apprehensive at the start, but I think he's getting the wrap of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Justin, it's been a hectic schedule. I mean, is this a good time to now have almost a week before you play again to get some guys healthy, but also to get some time on the training court and hopefully bring in a new face over this week to work in too?
Yeah, we definitely like the games coming quick, and this will be one that it is probably good timing. It's 4 and 9 days to be able to get the bodies right again. Yep, to welcome in our replacement, to get Deng competitive practice, which is kind of why he didn't get the final tick off today to play. They're the things that we kind of need right now, and start working on what a whole team looks like. And that's, again, the exciting part. We break it into quarters. I think I've said that before, and we're in control of this quarter's target. So that's kind of all that matters. Yep, we don't like losing, but we learn from our losses and continue to move forward.
I'm not sure we can quite mention his name yet until it's officially confirmed, but in terms of JB's replacement, are you pretty excited to bring him in this week and have him ready for Saturday just to give you that extra little bit of a scoring punch?
I presume that announcement was already out there, so okay, I don't want to get into trouble with anyone, but the potential person we're bringing in we think is a complementary piece to what we've got. I think having played in the league before is an advantage when you bring someone at this stage of the season. And one thing we built this team on was a number of connections within the group of guys that had previously played, and I think that continuity will be a positive for us as well. So, excited to have a whole group. There's days I look on the sideline and it's almost a starting lineup on the side of the court. So to get back to that part is exciting, but also, there's credit to the guys that have been stepping in. And I thought Whitey tonight, again, just played big minutes and got his job. And so, as a coach, what it does is it allows us to have depth once everyone's healthy and good to go. So, I think we're going to be able to lean into that and make a really good run in that last quarter of the season.
Let's just assume that Josh has been confirmed then. I mean, the fact that you bring him late in the season, but he knows the league, how much of a help is that? And the fact that you know that he can, if he catches fire, we saw what he did to get Tasmania to a grand final series. He's got the potential to be that perfect final piece for you. Yeah,
I think what we had with JB was 3 guys that you really had to worry about on the scouting report, and then I felt like Nordo, Ty, Whitey, like everyone else kind of benefited from that. That's exactly what Josh will bring in is that guy that can plug and play the same sort of way. I went back and looked at my review of Game 3 in that semi-final series, and the clutch ability of him is something that we will look forward to. But again, the culture piece was a big one for us, and having connections within the group. So we know he'll fit in exactly with this group that is super tight and connected, and all those things matter. He worked out with Rocco pre-season, and there's a lot of connectivity there. So we're excited to, again, just be as whole as we can be.
You've had to guard him before, Nordo, and you've played against him. What are your memories of playing against Josh 2 years ago, and how much are you looking forward to bringing him in?
Yeah, just super competitive. You know, I remembered as a defender, you couldn't take a possession off or a moment in a possession off. Everything was live with him. He's an athlete. And yeah, I'm excited to team up with him, get him in town and get to work.
Thanks very much, guys.
Thanks. That's it.
Just got Michael Randall from baseball.
No worries.
Randall, when you're ready.
I was going to say, I'm already in trouble, so you could have just blamed me to the Josh Adams stuff, mate. But can you talk a little bit about what he brings that's different to what James was bringing?
I don't know if it's different. Like, I think you know, one of the things we tried to do is continue to lean into guys that have had winning experience in the league this year, and he's one of those guys. So that's something that JB was learning that on the fly. Like, he obviously has that experience, and I think he's elite at getting to the foul line, which is something that at times this year we've really struggled with. So I think they're probably the two biggest points of difference for him. You know, like, we know he's an elite competitor and you know, is going to fit in right with what we need there. So yeah, again, anytime you bring someone in, like Stacks was happy to tell me Rob Rose came in late and helped them onto some success in Southeast Melbourne days. So you know, we're not going to put the pressure on Josh like that, but what we are going to do is ask for him to be the contributor that we want. Like we ask everyone, is, you know, we don't want this to be about one person, we want it to be about the whole, and when we do that, we're at our best, and we think he can fill the void that we might have right now.
You've talked a lot about, I guess, you know, facing that adversity from right at the start of the season. You know, you lose Sammy Mack early, you're trying to figure that out, you get your injuries, you get guys battling form. What's the challenge of integrating a new player into the group as you battle for that playoff spot with, you know, 10 games to go, even though he does know the league?
Yeah, I think you know, we're always about controlling what we can control, and you know, through adversity comes opportunity. We've said that so many times, and you know, the way we've been able to turn things into positives, you know, that's what we're trying to do with this one. Is like, all right, well, you know, we're all gutted that we've lost 3 guys to surgery this year, but at the same time, other people have been able to grow and you know, excel. And so right now, can Josh be the piece that helps us get over the line here? And you know, if that ends up being the positive impact that we've had to have through such a negative thing, then you know, at the end of the day, we'll celebrate that.
Josh Bannon, you know, it was probably one of his better games of the year. It looks like he's getting healthier. What's your thinking around his role moving forward? Do you like what you see coming off the bench?
Yeah, I do. Like, I think the versatility that he has at either the 4 or 5 is outstanding for us. And, you know, like, everyone's talking about how great Casey's going. Him at the 4 is a great advantage for us. And, you know, we deliberately brought in an off guard because we like the way we look in that way. So, you know, with Bannon and, you know, Dengadell being guys being able to come in off the bench, that's a kind of a luxury we haven't had this year. So, yeah, great game by him again. I thought, you know, he's one of the guys that sits in that plus area and was able to have a positive impact in most areas that we needed.
Nordo, just the last one. I mean, you're second last in assists as a club, but it feels like over this run that you've kind of really lent into that, you know, the individual scoring creativity, and, you know, there's a lot of guys that are capable ball handlers in the side. Can you just talk about it from a player perspective? I mean, I guess you're kind of like the floor general, but you've got many guys that handle the ball from, you know, your 1 all the way through to your 4 with, you know, yourself and Bannon and Casey and Keandre and now Josh coming in. Can you just speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, I think, you know, our offense is designed to create an advantage, and wherever that advantage is, guys, you know, in the last couple of games have been doing a good job of putting the ball on the floor and getting to their spots. I think, you know, there's certain times where offense doesn't necessarily create an advantage, and we may think there is one, but, you know, I think as we watch film and we learn about each other and what's a good shot, what's a bad shot, I think, you know, you'll see those assist numbers skyrocket.
Thanks, guys.
Too easy.
Thank you.